Hi, welcome to another session on the topic place under marketing mix. Today we are going to discuss on the topic retailing. This is a third session of our discussion. Let's discuss the lesson objectives. By the end of the session, we will have identified the meaning of retailing. We would have discussed on why and how retailing is important and analyzed methods of retailing used by businesses with relevant examples. And we will have researched and engaged students on different types of group activities mentioned in the lesson. The success criteria goes like this. We make an acceptable progress when you can define retailing. You make a good progress when you can discuss reasons on the importance of retailing and when you can identify the methods of retailing and differentiating them with examples. You make a very good progress when you can apply your learning to research on analysis based assessment question based on group discussion mentioned in the lesson. You make an outstanding progress when you can research and evaluate curriculum-based assessment questions, including all four criteria. Let's move on to the key words. Retailing, supermarkets, department stores, multiples or chain stores, superstores, kiosk, street vendors, independents, market traders, and online retailers. Look at this picture. Is it some place familiar to you? Is it a retail store? Or is it a supermarket? Or is it a section under hypermarket? Is there any chances of this to be a street shop? Think about it and try to identify the possibilities of retail outlets which this can be associated with. Many thoughts have come to your mind. Most of you would have thought that this would be a retail outlet. Some would have thought this place as a supermarket or have thought it be a section under hypermarket. All these are right answers. However, this place will never seem as a street vendor model shop, isn't it? So now we are going to explore more on retail outlets and discuss all the answers to the questions on what, who, where, how and why retailing is important, as well as on the different methods of retailing. What is retailing? Retailing is the process of selling consumer goods or services to the consumers through multiple channels of distribution to earn a profit. Retailers satisfy demand identified through supply chain. So it is business that buy goods from manufacturers and wholesalers and sell them in smaller quantity to consumers. Now the answer to the question why retailing is important. Retailing is important because it allows manufacturers to focus on producing goods without having to be distracted by the enormous amount of effort that it takes to interact with the end user, consumers who want to purchase those goods. So then, how retailing is done? Yeah, there are quite a few categories of outlets to make product available for consumers. Now let's move on to the different forms of retail outlets through which the consumer gets their product. They are independents, supermarkets, department stores, multiples or chain stores, superstores or hypermarket, kiosk and street vendors, market traders and online traders. Let's discuss the first type of retail outlet. They are independents. These are found in a variety of locations such as on high streets and shopping centers or malls or in small villages and in towns. They are relatively small outlets. Many are owned by the sole traders. Examples are news agents, general stores, greengrocers, and specialists who sell bicycles, jewelers, or toys. Now let's look on what is supermarket. They are usually large stores selling up to 20,000 product lines including groceries, fresh food, green cards, clothes, electrical goods, books, and household goods. They are usually cheaper than the independents because they can afford to buy in bulk from manufacturers. Many of the supermarkets are located on the outskirts of town and cities where land may be relatively cheap and is more readily available. They usually offer free parking and meet the needs of the consumers who prefer one-stop shopping. Now let's discuss what are department stores. These are large stores split into distinct selling departments such as cosmetics, food, gifts, children, clothing, men's clothing, and women's clothing. They usually provide high quality products with high level of customer service. For example, the sales staff may receive training on different products sold in the particular department. Department stores are often found in the city centers, like we have got Carrefour here. One example of the famous department store is Harrods of London, UK. Now let's move on to discuss what are multiples or chain stores. One owner opens multiple stores selling the same range of goods in many different locations. Each store in the chain will look very much the same and be under the control of central office. These stores will have a standardized product range, pricing strategy, store fronts, store layout, staff uniform, staff training, wages, and conditions of work. Chain stores may specialize in all sorts of product lines such as menswear, children's clothing, ladies' clothing, shoes, food, domestic appliances, sportswear, books, and toiletries. They bulk buy direct from manufacturers, so the cost of sales are low. However, their ranges of goods are often limited and staff may be poorly motivated because they are not usually given incentives. Now let's check what are superstores or hypermarkets. These are very large stores usually located on the outskirts of towns and selling a wide range of goods under one roof. They are generally cheaper than supermarkets and have a wider product range. They sometimes feel like giant warehouses when moving around inside. Kiosks and street vendors. They are small outlets selling limited range of goods. They are found in airports, bus and train stations, in the streets and cinema. They generally operate with low setup cost and minimal overheads, but this depends upon the location. Renting a location inside a major airport would actually be quite expensive. Many of them sell fast food, confectionery, newspaper, and limited range of clothes perhaps. What are market traders? They are small-time businesses selling goods from the market stalls. They are common in many parts of the world. They have low overheads and cheaper than other retailers. Some market traders move from one market to another and set up a stall each time they relocate. However, in other markets such as souks, market traders may sell their goods from the same permanently located stall. Online traders. Businesses such as Amazon that buy goods from manufacturers and sell their goods from the same permanently located store. These are the group activities which you need to do. First one is to identify the type of retail outlet looking onto the pictures. Second group activity is to create a mind map of retailing defining its categories with examples. Third activity or task will be state 2 points of differences between supermarkets and department store, supermarket and hypermarket, chain stores and superstores. Comparatively study and analyze on when each one of them is most suitable based on factors such as cost, location, nature of business, and products sold. Fourth task is retailing may add value to products by providing other services. What are those services? Analyze on how including of these services can adversely and positively affect them. Critically evaluate on your points of analysis. These are the instructions for group activities. Each one of these group tasks carries mark. One group task will be assigned to you by the teacher. Assessment-based rubric will be provided and BEGOL as separate document is shared. There is an option for each one of you to choose individual task from among the remaining tasks if your group have already completed one group task. This enables you to increase the marks for your group. Group tasks will be assessed by another group and individual option task will be undertaken as self-assessment. Total of all this will be your overall score. So this is the rubric for curriculum-based assessment, which have AO1, AO2, AO3 and AO4. And as always, the marks depends on the different levels on which you answer and the particular marks assigned for each of the assessment objectives. So this is the peer group assessment mark entry table. So those group which is having task 1 will be assessed on based on these criteria and they'll be awarded with 4 marks total. And task 2 will be getting 6 marks, task 3 will be getting 9 marks, task 4 will be getting 12 marks, and the challenge will be considered as an extended activity or as a homework that carries 15 marks. The question of challenge. Research on whether retailing industry has got impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. Discuss relevant points with real examples to justify your analysis. You can submit your findings and analysis of discussion as a report. Exit card is provided as a Google form which needs to be filled at the end of the session. The goal for the exit card is also seen here. The curriculum link for this session is: this topic is related with marketing management, production management, supply chain management, logistics management, and all the real businesses which exist in the world which sells in retail stores. That's all for today's session. Until we meet next, keep exploring on e-tailing, that is e-commerce. Thank you and have a nice day.